Welcome to a new season of Asian American Life. I'm your host, Ernabel Demillo. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been months since the coronavirus pandemic hit New York and New Jersey, causing businesses to permanently close and 1 million jobs lost. As our city works through the next phase, I take a close look at how Asian American communities, including New York's Chinatown, are coping both financially and socially. But first, here's a look at what's ahead on our show. Call for action. Rayner Ramirez reports on Asian Americans for Black Lives Matter. Would you eat misfit-looking vegetables? Minnie Roh discovers one company that prevents food waste and saves money. Uncommon valor. Kyung Yoon remembers the forgotten war as she shares her father's extraordinary act of heroism. This and more on Asian American Life. After months in lockdown, New York is slowly reopening, but it's far from business as usual. Many neighborhoods continue to struggle, including Chinatown. I talked to several people who are working hard to save the neighborhood they love.
I just got these delicious buns from Barry Fleet Bakery.
I created a little short 30-second PSA commercial for Chinatown. Just say, come on out and support Chinatown. It's open for you.
Shirley Ng grew up in Chinatown and is co-founder of Chinatown Organization for Media Awakening. She, like many others in and from the community, are trying to get people to come back and support the still struggling businesses here.
Come down to Chinatown and support local Chinatown businesses.
The neighborhood, one of the city's most popular tourist destinations, was hit hard by COVID-19. Asian American businesses in New York and across the country were hit with a double whammy by the lockdowns and xenophobia. Foot traffic was already down in Chinatown in January, the busy Lunar New Year season, because of the xenophobia.
It's been tough. It's been really tough. I have not seen Chinatown like this ever.
For Jenny Lowe, a community organizer who helped coordinate free meal deliveries for seniors and the homebound, it was heartbreaking to see what was happening in her neighborhood, where she has lived for 40 years. The numbers are changing every day, but many restaurants and businesses have shuttered for good, and others are hanging by a thread.
The pandemic isn't over, right? We're slowly reopening, but people are not coming back.
She, along with a group of other activists, have been pushing the city to close more streets, including Mott Street, during the weekends to allow for more outdoor dining. They envision Chinatown turning into an open street market. In August, this video of Patrick Mock, owner of 46 Mott Bakery, pleading for the mayor's help went viral.
And then COVID happened, and now we're all hurting and struggling.
The mayor turns away from Mock while he was still speaking, and soon the headlines read, "Mayor turns his back on Chinatown bakery manager." Later, the mayor tweeted there would be more street closures. As of our deadline, Mott Street was still open to traffic. In the meantime, volunteers have been working hard to clean the streets in Chinatown. Outdoor dining is a rarity here.
Well, it was started by a friend of mine, Colin Chan, and it was to encourage more traffic and tourism into Chinatown once the outdoor dining started to pick up. So we just freshen up and liven up the street to make it look presentable and welcoming.
It is a community effort from residents, volunteers, and business owners, including Wilson Tang, owner of the popular Nam Hua Tea House. 2020 was supposed to be a 100-year birthday celebration for the restaurant, which opened in 1920, having survived the Great Depression, September 11th, and Superstorm Sandy.
Yeah, it is our 100th year, and it's something I'm proud of and something worth noting and celebrating in some form or fashion during the next couple of months before the end of the year.
Tang, who took over the restaurant from his uncle in 2010, has had to find innovative ways to keep the business going. At one point, business was down 40%.
It's honestly been kind of a struggle figuring it all out. We've definitely pivoted as a business into kind of other business streams or revenue streams rather that are outside of the restaurant. But I have a really good team and we're in good spirits. And we're trying to figure out and navigate through the storm just like everyone else is.
According to a recent McKinsey report, Asian-owned businesses are overrepresented in some of the hardest-hit sectors. Asian-owned businesses make up 26% of hotels and food service and 17% of retail trade. The report also found that Asian American businesses have suffered from a lack of government and financial support. The study found 75% of Asian-owned businesses have little chance of getting a Paycheck Protection Program loan known as a PPP because many minority-owned businesses lack relationships with a mainstream bank or credit union, which is a prerequisite to be approved. And if you didn't get a PPP loan, many say the money has run out. Joanne Kwong is president of the iconic Pearl River Mart. She is also on the city's Small Business Advisory Council.
Many of us are just trying to figure out, are we hanging on? And what are we hanging on for? Is there kind of light at the end of the tunnel?
Kwong says small businesses need another lifeline soon. In the meantime, she continues to work to support her neighbors. Pearl River just launched its Chinatown collection, a collaboration with neighboring businesses, with 100% of the proceeds going back to Chinatown. She calls it Chinatown merch.
It was to bring together Chinatown businesses that all New Yorkers love and have loved for years. So restaurants that kind of typify, my childhood growing up in New York. So Jing Fong and Hop Key and Kanji Village and Namwa and Chinatown Ice Cream Factory. It's basically a way to help the business owners just create an extra revenue stream.
The future for Chinatown is still uncertain as the country prepares for a second COVID wave. But what is certain is you'll find this neighborhood continuing to fight for its survival.
But it's all because we love this neighborhood and we all wanted to be able to survive and recover.
I'm Ernabel Demillo for Asian American Life.
For months now, the Black Lives Matter movement has gained momentum around the world, and Asian Americans today are continuing a legacy of solidarity with Black Americans forged during the Civil Rights Movement. For months now, since the police killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, activists across the spectrum of race, class, and gender have taken to the streets from coast to coast.
We have a duty to rise up and to stop the oppression, the ongoing brutality, and the murder of Black lives by the police and by the state.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back!
Kalayaan Mendoza is a Filipino-American activist. He's also the co-founder of Across Front Lines, an organization that trains activists so they don't get hurt at protests. Keeping safe and secure is more important now during COVID-19, and when confronting what many are calling a fascist response to the Black Lives Matter movement by the federal government.
What's different right now is we're seeing how other countries and governments are protecting their people and keeping them safe, whereas our government is not doing that.
And the support for the struggles of Black, Indigenous people of color, what's known now as BIPOC, is growing globally, and Asian Americans are coming out strong.
There are Asian Americans doing the work on the ground right now, whether it's the Asian American Organizing Project in Minneapolis or the Southeast Asian contingent of Freedom Inc. in Madison, Wisconsin.
And what's happening on the streets is being shared on social media. Mendoza says he created this poster, and it's become a digital footprint for Asian Americans in the movement.
We're constantly erased as Asian Americans, especially as Filipino Americans in the movement work that we're in. And I think that's why one of the reasons I thought it was very important to create this graphic, this image of Filipinx and Asians for Black Lives, because it's an invitation for people to see themselves in it.
And the poster has gone viral, representing more than 150 ethnic groups in the US and around the world.
It started off with Asian for Black Lives, Filipinx for Black Lives, going to Hmong for Black Lives. We have Tibetans for Black Lives, Chinese for Black Lives, Vietnamese for Black Lives, pretty much across the Asian continent.
Mendoza says the poster pays homage to the Philippine flag and the Black Power symbol of the civil rights movement.
If not for Black organizers for pushing the barometer of justice in this country, we would not see the benefits and the rights that we do.
It was the civil rights movement that gave rise to the Asian American movement. Asian American activists today are carrying out the legacy of those who came before them, like Yuri Kochiyama.
United States of America is a nation where people are not united because of those three glaring frailties: racism, injustices, and inequities.
And Grace Lee Boggs.
We are the children of Martin and Malcolm. I don't know what the next American Revolution is going to be like, but you might be able to imagine it if your imagination were rich enough.
But Mendoza acknowledges that Asian Americans today must look at bias within their own families and communities to continue the work of solidarity.
One of the reasons that Asian Americans, especially Filipina, Filipino, Filipinx folks, are erased is because of the model minority myth. Many in our community think that by upholding this myth, by upholding that, we're the best minority, it's somehow going to protect us. But what we saw with COVID is that no matter how close we are to whiteness, no matter how well-to-do we are still seen as the other. We'll still be seen as the Oriental and be attacked for who we are.
Fueled by a racist president, anti-Asian hate has increased since the pandemic, according to the Asian Pacific Policy and Planning Council's Stop the Hate campaign.
The moment really shifted the way I think about the larger Asian American community and this idea that we just have to stand up for each other.
And according to a recent Pew Research poll, about 4 in 10 Black and Asian adults say people have acted as if they were uncomfortable around them because of their race since the beginning of the outbreak. Mendoza, who lives near what was the epicenter of COVID-19 in Queens, New York, says he saw firsthand how BIPOC communities are disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. But he says what he's experienced in the Black Lives Matter movement has left him optimistic.
Right now, organizers and activists across the country are building mutual aid groups, are passing out masks and gloves and hand sanitizer at protests, showing more care for strangers than the government shows for its citizens.
Today, I call upon each and every one of you to make a commitment.
This is a time of reimagining. This is a time of recreating, as Angela Davis said. And I think that all of us want to reimagine a world that is more just, more vibrant. I can't help but be hopeful right now because we're ready for a new world.
For Asian American Life, I'm Rayner Ramirez.
I'm Minnie Roh. These may look like perfect vegetables, but believe it or not, these are rejects from traditional retailers as items they are unable to sell. Waste is a common problem in the food industry, and it's one that Misfits Market and its South Asian CEO are on a mission to solve.
Behind that beautifully stacked shelf of perfectly presented produce lies a little-known secret that the food industry doesn't want you to know.
There is a tremendous amount of waste out there in the food ecosystem, not only in produce where we originally started, but in every other category of food. There's stuff that gets tossed out today that shouldn't get tossed out.
Abhi Ramesh is the founder and CEO of Misfits Market, an online subscription service for organic produce.
Grocery stores want these perfect shiny wax apples sitting all next to each other on the shelves. And if there's any apples that have discoloration or a little bit of scarring or a bruise that doesn't affect the quality, they don't want to put that on their shelves.
Maybe the cucumber is misshapen, the blueberry too large, or a logistics delay in delivery led to thousands of pounds of perfectly good food getting tossed. Whatever the reason, Misfits Market partners with growers to take this excess and then sells it to the consumer with deep discounts.
Our discounts compared to the grocery store are 30 to 50%. We're getting those discounts and we're able to give those to customers because this is stuff that the traditional grocery stores aren't buying or can't buy for whatever reason.
Food waste is a huge global issue. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, 1/3 of all food produced is never eaten, including nearly half of all fruits and vegetables.
Who's to blame is probably sort of, mass market consumerism and the way we think about what we buy and what we want. And so it's kind of like a global blame that we all need to take. But it was very much so kind of generally offensive because it's like, this stuff is perfectly fine. We should be able to sell it. There should be people that deserve to be able to buy this at a discount as well.
Ramesh was born in India and came to this country when he was 7. His parents, both software engineers, drilled into his head the importance of never wasting food.
My father is notorious for getting really upset at me and my younger brother if we ever wasted food.
Ramesh says he created Misfits Market to battle what he calls the inefficiencies in the food industry across the board. The inspiration for this business was a culmination of several factors. First, his former background in the finance sector, where he witnessed flaws in food logistics.
There would be transportation companies that would take a full truckload of 100,000 strawberries across the country, end up at the wrong destination, and they'd have to dump it.
A conversation with an orchard owner after seeing thousands of edible apples that had fallen from the tree.
And I asked him sort of what happened to all the apples that had fallen off the trees. He's like, well, we try to donate what we can and dump the rest.
And knowing that in Philadelphia, his current hometown, there were large food deserts where people were going hungry.
It was shocking to me that 30 miles away at a farm, there was a farmer throwing away thousands of apples. And then in the Philly sort of metro area, there were thousands of families that didn't have access to food because they're food deserts. The idea is we can solve the food waste problem by rescuing all of this sort of misfit produce and other misfit food categories while also allowing consumers to save money on their bucket.
During the pandemic, Misfits Market was the perfect solution for many consumers who were reluctant to shop at brick-and-mortar stores and who turned to the internet for their groceries.
There are a lot of households, people are immunocompromised and so they can't go to the grocery store. They don't live in an area where, an Instacart or an Amazon Prime would deliver. So the only practical way they can get fresh food into their households is to order from us or someone like us.
Prior to COVID, online grocery shopping was in the single digits. COVID was a boon for online merchants, and Ramesh says Misfits Market saw a 500% increase in new subscriptions. It paved the way for him to take the business into a new direction, diversifying beyond just produce.
As restaurants shut down, schools shut down, sports facilities shut down, there is a massive amount of food waste left behind. So we had a company that specializes in peanuts for baseball games reach out to us and essentially say we have hundreds of thousands of pounds of peanuts sitting around because baseball stadiums are closed and no one's playing games and no audiences. Airlines reaching out to us because they had airline snack trays that they were trying to sell because there was no market for them because people weren't flying anymore.
The company now also offers customized boxes and shelf-stable pantry items. Ramesh says he has plans to grow Misfits Market into a full online grocery store.
The COVID pandemic was sort of a one-time situation that's caused this big spike across the board. However, I think what it's representative of is a larger shift towards e-commerce as it relates to food. And I think that's what will stay.
There are several organizations that operate similar business models to Misfits Market. One of them is based in Portugal called Fruta Feia, or Ugly Fruit. There are also apps in Europe that rescue food and pass the savings along to the consumer. I'm Minnie Roh for Asian American Life.
I'm Kyung Yoon, and the story I'm about to share is a personal one. This year marked the 70th anniversary of the start of the Korean War, and my story is about an extraordinary man who helped to save the lives of hundreds of American soldiers during that war, and who happens to be my father.
아빠하고 나하고
만든 꽃밭에.
This is my father and me singing a beloved Korean children's song that he taught me when I was a little girl.
기였습니다.
The song tells a story of a father and child planting flowers in a garden. One of my earliest memories is singing this song with my dad, who has planted seeds of generosity and sacrifice throughout his life. He's always been a hero to me. 70 years ago, my father was a young army captain fighting in the Korean War. On June 25, 1950, the communist North Korean government launched a surprise attack on the Republic of Korea in the south. In 3 days, the North Korean army, supported by the Soviet Union, had captured the southern capital city of Seoul. The United Nations Security Council immediately voted to send international military forces to support South Korea. The first UN ground forces to enter the battle was Task Force Smith, made up of about 540 men of the U.S. 24th Infantry Division and the 52nd Field Artillery Battalion. My father had been training with the American soldiers of the 52nd in Kyushu, Japan, when they received orders to immediately deploy to Korea.
그 부대가 한국 전장에 저번이가 디스패치 되게 됐다고. 그러니까 와서 아무것도 모르니까 저 한국 chief of staff 캡틴 그 당시 난 캡틴인데 캡틴 윤을 달라고. We don't know anything about Korea. train the people 어떻게 그 당한 한국 코리안 chief of staff가 해가지고서 나를 저 미국 부대로 가라고 그래서.
Because a liaison officer. Liaison officer.
liaison officer.
On July 5, 1950, my father was embedded with Task Force Smith when they made a stand in Osan City in what would go down in history as the first battle of UN forces in the Korean War. The goal was to delay the North Korean advance. My father was the only South Korean in that battle.
중미령이라는데 거기에서 나오는데 인민군이 그때 Russian made 탱크를 가지고서 페네트레이트 쫙 해가지고서 미국 저 타스크 포스 스미스가 말하자면 employed 당했어.
The soldiers of Task Force Smith were outnumbered nearly 10-1 by the 5,000 North Korean infantry, but fought courageously. Many died in the battle, and Task Force Smith was eventually forced to retreat. My father was in the first jeep, navigating the harrowing retreat through unfamiliar terrain, with so many lives hanging in the balance, but ultimately he was able to lead some 200 soldiers to safety.
내가 앞장을 서가지고 저 포스트 지프에 타고 거기 남아있던 한 미군 한 200명 가량의 그 차를 갖다 다 빼가지고서 해가지고서 내가 앞장 서가지고서 빠져나와서 살았다고. 그 자리에 저 인민군 노스코리안 인펜트리맨이 한 시간 후에 우리가 있던 자리에 도착을 했대. 그러니까 그 한 시간만 늦었으면은 아버지도 그렇고 모든 200명의 저 프리즌 오브 워가 됐던가 그러지 않으면 죽었던가 그랬을 거야.
My father fought many more battles during the Korean War, but he also found love when he met my mother during the war, and the two were married on a cold January day in 1953, 7 months before an armistice officially ended the conflict. My father was eventually promoted to Major General in the South Korean Army and posted as military attaché to Washington, D.C.
From his service with Task Force Smith in the opening battle of the Korean War, to his continuing support to soldiers of both nations' armies, through professional development presentations, Major General retired Yoon has earned a place of honor in the history of the U.S. Army.
For his service to Korea and the United States, he was honored by the American military in July of 2020 at Camp Humphreys in Korea, the largest U.S. overseas military base, where a major installation gate was named after him. He's grateful for his life and to have been given the chance to see his children grow up and have children of their own. The foundation for his life is his faith in God, handed down to him by his mother.
마더가 나를 위해 가지고서 밤낮 기도를 한 거라. 그렇게 기도의 힘으로 내가 그렇게 많은 사람을 같이 살리고 죽지 않고 그렇게 된 게 어머니의 기도지.
Soldier, hero, diplomat, and to me, a father who taught me about courage, faith, love, and how to bloom wherever I'm planted.
피었습니다.
Wow! I love you.
Kyung Yoon, Asian American Life.
That's our show for now. If you want to learn more about our stories, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Asian American Life. And be sure to tune in next month as we gear up for the presidential election. I'm Ernabel Demillo. We'll see you next time.